This video covers the simple steps required to assemble the enclosed dice panel. Start by unboxing all the enclosed dice panel components as shown. You should have one upper back panel, one left side panel, one right side panel, and a front panel. You should also have a lower back panel, a main top panel, a secondary top panel, a spill containment shelf, 2 shelf supports, 2 back panel attachment tabs, 2 shelf attachment tabs, a front shelf support, a top panel support, a top shelf support, 2 L-type top panel supports, 2 side panel supports, 1 front panel lock, 10 tabs, 4 tubing inserts that are a 1/2 inch, 4 tubing inserts that are 3/8 of an inch, 1 drain, 1 ferrule connector kit, 74 assembly screws that are 3/4 of an inch long, 6 1/2 inch long standoffs, 3 dice spacers that are 1 1/8 of an inch, 2 front panel handles, 3 dice assembly screws that are 110 millimeters long, 3 dice rear nut tabs, and 3 assembly screws that are 3/8 of an inch long. To perform the assembly, you will need a rubber hammer, a Phillips head screwdriver, a utility knife, and an adjustable wrench. Installing the drain on the dice enclosure shelf will require the spill containment shelf and a utility knife. Start by cutting the inner diameter of the drain hole from the top of the shelf by using a utility knife. Then flip the shelf and finish the cut. Deburr both sides of the hole using the knife. You can now proceed with the drain installation. To install the drain, start by inserting the O-ring into the groove. Make sure the O-ring is well seated. Insert the drain into the drain hole. While holding the drain in place, flip the shelf. Secure the drain in place using the nut. Gently tighten the nut by using the adjustable wrench. The dice spill containment shelf allows for the use of 3 different types of conduit: 1/2 inch Schedule 80 rigid piping, 1/2 inch outside diameter tubing, and 3/8 of an inch outside diameter tubing. The kit includes tubing inserts for 1/2 inch or 3/8 of an inch tubing. The 1/2 inch Schedule 80 rigid piping can be used by simply removing the plug and inserting the rigid piping. If using the tubing, simply use the supplied tubing insert by firmly pressing it into the dedicated hole. Start by inserting the back panel attachment tab on the shelf support with the 10 smaller holes facing outwards. Then, insert the shelf attachment tab with the cambered holes also facing outwards. Firmly push the tabs until they are completely inserted. Repeat these steps on the second shelf support to obtain 2 symmetrical, pre-assembled shelf supports. If required, use a rubber hammer to insert the tabs properly. Insert the tabs on the front shelf support with the 2 cambered holes facing outwards from the front shelf support. The shelf has 2 pockets located at the front of the bottom surface. Assemble the front shelf support into the shelf pockets. Firmly press them together until the shelf supports are fully inserted into the shelf pockets. The shelf has 4 pockets located on its bottom surface. Assemble the 2 pre-assembled shelf supports into the shelf pockets. Firmly press them together until the shelf supports are fully inserted into the shelf pockets. Using 10 3/4 inch long assembly screws, secure the components in place. Align the lower back panel and the upper back panel with their front facing up. The dice logo on the upper back panel should be facing up, and the cambered groove of both the upper and lower panels should be facing down. Insert the shelf pre-assembly into the 6 lower and upper back panel openings. Firmly press until the shelf supports are fully inserted into the back panel openings. Insert the top shelf support between the shelf supports. Make sure the 6 holes are facing the back panel. Pre-assemble the 2 L-type top panel supports with the 4 tabs. Make sure the 2 horizontal holes are facing outwards. Firmly press them together until the tabs are fully inserted. Pre-assemble the 2 side panel supports with the 2 tabs. Make sure the tabs are inserted on the opposite side of the 4 holes. 2 horizontal holes on the tabs should be facing toward the 2 side panel support holes. Firmly press them together until the tabs are fully inserted. The final side panel supports should look like this. Insert the 2 pre-assembled side panel supports into the 2 dedicated pockets on the side of the back panel. Make sure the face of the side panel support with the 4 holes is facing outward and the 2 horizontal holes on the tabs are facing the back panel. Firmly press them together until the side panel supports are fully inserted into the back panel. Insert the 2 pre-assembled L-type top panel supports into the 2 pockets at the top of the back panel. Make sure the long side of the L is outward and the 2 horizontal holes on the tabs are facing down at the back panel. Firmly press them together until the side panel supports are fully inserted into the back panel. Flip the dice panel to access its backside. Using 26 3/4 inch long assembly screws, secure the components in place. Apply pressure on the top shelf support to align the 4 holes with the 4 horizontal tracks. Screw the 4 3/4 inch long assembly screws to secure the components in place. Place the dice panel on its left side. Insert the right side panel on the shelf inserts, and the L-type top panel support. Make sure the inscription "in" is on the inside of the dice panel. Firmly press them together until the inserts are fully connected to the side panel. Pre-assemble the top panel support by inserting the 2 tabs in the 2 inserts. The 2 horizontal holes on the tabs should be facing outward. Firmly press them together until the tabs are fully inserted. Carefully flip the dice panel on its right side. Insert the pre-assembled top panel support in the insert at the top of the right side panel. Make sure the two horizontal holes are facing the side panel. Firmly press them together until the top panel support is fully inserted. Insert the left side panel in the shelf inserts, the L-type top panel support, and the top panel support. Make sure the inscription "in" is on the inside of the dice panel. Firmly press them together until the inserts are fully inserted in the side panel. Screw the 11 3/4 inch long assembly screws in the left side panel. Make sure the screws are secure. Carefully flip the dice panel on its left side. Screw the 11 3/4 inch long assembly screws in the right side panel. Make sure the screws are secure. Place the dice panel upright to access the top. Put the secondary top panel at the back of the top of the dice panel with its even surface facing outward. Secure the secondary top panel with two 3/4 inch long assembly screws in the two cambered holes in the corners. Place the main panel at the front of the top of the dice panel with its even surface facing outward. The pre-drilled holes should be aligned. The tabs should fit in the insert at the top of the side panels. Secure the main top panel using four 3/4 inch long assembly screws in the four cambered holes in the corners. The front panel is equipped with two handles, using four 3/4 inch long assembly screws. Start by aligning the front panel holes located in its center portion with the handle. Partially screw the first 3/4 inch long assembly screw into one of the two holes in the handle. Screw the other 3/4 inch long assembly screw in the other hole on the handle. Finish setting the first screw. Repeat the same process with the other handle. Finally, the front panel should look like this. To install the front panel, make sure the square hole is on the bottom side of the panel. Push the front panel toward the back panel in the side panel's tracks. Once the front panel is correctly inserted, slide the panel in the tracks. To lock the front panel, firmly push the front panel lock in the square hole. Make sure the cambered holes are facing downward. To secure the lock, screw two 3/4 inch long assembly screws in the two designated holes in the front panel lock. Insert the six 1/2 inch long standoffs in the back of the upper and lower back panels. If required, use a plastic hammer to secure the standoffs in the dedicated holes. The dice panel allows for 4 different dice configurations. The dice spacers and rear nut tabs will need to be installed using the following patterns: Dice DS left side installation, Dice DM left side installation, Dice DS right side installation, Dice DM right side installation. Following the pattern of the chosen configuration, insert the 3 1 1/8 inch long dice spacers into the dedicated holes on the front of the upper back panel. If required, use a plastic hammer to press fit the spacers into their holes. Following the pattern of the chosen configuration, install the dice rear nut tabs into the predefined pockets. Secure the tabs in place using 3 3/8 inch long assembly screws. The enclosed assembly of the dice panel is now completed.